Marcus and Mondale, keeping it real. Yeah, you know they never holding back from telling the facts about this white supremacist system. Hurting brothers and sisters, working towards our freedom. We need them and they need us. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, nothing like your average podcast. Speaking truth to power, put them on blast. Cause it's been too long, let's be honest. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, no for sure, they never gonna be back. Marcus and Mondale with the knowledge, their dedication is so rock solid. So rock solid, solid. Dropping all that knowledge, rock solid, solid. Marcus and Mondale, keeping it real. Yeah, you know they never hold back from telling the facts about this white supremacist system. Hurting brothers and sisters, working towards our freedom. We need them and they need us. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, feeling like your average podcast. Speaking truth to power, put them on blast. Cause it's been too long, let's be honest. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, no for sure, they never gonna be back. Throwing scrolls up if you read it, y'all. It's a thirst trap video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you're liking this vibe. Yeah, Clickbaity, what? Clickbaity, word.
Yo, welcome, one and all, to another episode of Clickbaity Thirst Trap. I am your host tonight, Marcus Burrow, joined by another brother from another mother, Darren Smith, aka Delicious, aka
He's back.
Daddy back, and all that. And first, I just wanted everybody to know real quick, yo, shout out to Kofi Bell for the brother's dual talented. The brother made the new intro music, and he made the song. So Kofi, I'm giving you your shout out. I'm giving you your kudos. That was really dope. Kofi Perry,
facts.
That's at Kofi Perry Art. Mondale is a little under the weather tonight, and it sucks because I know y'all expected to see my face and his face after that dope intro right there. But we're gonna keep it moving. So, first look, man, our special guest host and one of our friends and family of the show, Darren Smith, man. Darren, how are you, man? Talk to us. It's been like months since you've been on the show. It's been like you were at the Super Bowl, you were at the AFC playoffs, you were at the Pro
Bowl. Yeah, I was at the Pro Bowl. Yeah,
you were at the Pro Bowl. Like, talk to us, man. What's been going on since the last time we seen you, man?
Well, first of all, you got nobody to blame but yourself because I told you I got an open invite. So you call me anytime like you literally did because I'm currently at the Big 12 tournament, the kickoff of it. We've got West Virginia against Kansas State that's tipping off in just about 3 minutes. But because it's you and you said you called me, I said I got you. And so I left my courtside seat to come hang out with my people because you, like you said, you're my brother from another mother. But, just been, covering the NFL, of course, with the Chiefs. And obviously the season didn't end like I would have liked it to with them in the Super Bowl against the Rams or anybody else. So, tough loss to that season. But like you said, I've got a chance. I've been blessed to cover my 4th straight Super Bowl and being on Radio Row. But, that's just the fun, the highlight of what I like to do when it comes to sports radio. But other than that, man, I'm always ready for the struggle, always ready for the fight because we still got a big fight ahead of us with the upcoming midterms and obviously 2024 elections.
Yeah, no, it was dope. You were out there with a lot of celebrities, man. So first, everybody's telling me that my volume is low, so I'm gonna check out while you answer this question. But name the celebrities real quick that you saw out there, even though we really don't care much about their cap asses. And do me a favor, like while I go off, maybe you can give me some early predictions for the NFL next year. And specifically, I want you to, because you weren't here and you're kind of our sports guy.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about Brian Flores. I want you to talk about the state of the NFL as it is right now when it comes down to like coaches of color, black coaches, and the percentage. While I log off, and
Well,
go
let's do this. Let's do this because I want to have that conversation when you come back on about Brian Flores. So, but in the meantime, while you get your mic stuff taken care of, to answer your question in case, and I do have the comment section up. So if anybody want to drop any questions, I'll be happy to answer them as well. But as Marcus said, man, just the Super Bowl was in Los Angeles, so it was celebrities every day. But people that I got a chance to either meet for the first time or continue to meet was Michael Irvin. I don't think I had never met Michael Irvin before, but met him during a lot of you all who are familiar in the late '90s, early 2000s. Joe Torre, comedian out of St. Louis. He's a Lincoln University Blue Tiger like myself, graduate of it. And so I had him on the show. Got a chance to talk to interview Edward James Olmos of the Academy nominated actor. Also, if you know the television show Gangland, as well as I think it's Sons of Anarchy, and it's another show that spun off of it on FX. And I can't think of the guy's name, but he also stars in the BET Plus classic. Oh gosh, Family Business. I think Carl Wright or Carl White's Family Business, something on BET Plus. But anyway, got a chance to meet him. Obviously, Travis Kelce, a lot of the football players and stuff that were there. But I did attend Lee Steinberg's Super Bowl party and met Nicole Murphy. And yeah, so if you all watching Undisputed like I do, Shannon Sharp was always going crazy about Nicole Murphy, Eddie Murphy's ex-wife. Well, there's a reason for that. 50 plus years old, she's still fine. She can still get it. And came on to me, but I told her your bank account's bigger than mine, so you don't want me. Who else, man? Honestly, it was a lot of people out there. Battlestar Galactic. Yep. But yeah, I did graduate from LU. You know what? See, I got to do this. I got to go to the phone and look at the pictures and stuff because I've met so many people that it's not fair for me to even try to utilize my name. Gosh, this is so funny. Let's see, we're looking at the Super Bowl. Oh, I met The Miz, pro wrestler The Miz. This guy here, Snowfall. I can't think of the guy's name, but admin or whatever. This dude here from Snowfall, man, the man talks like he talks on that show. Like every other word is a curse word. So yeah. Oh, sticky fingers. So yeah, Marcus. Metal. Oh, this guy here, man. Him. See now, right now, my healed. Gosh, dog it.
Yeah, he's the heel guy. He's the guy from Have Plenty who was the pretty boy.
Yeah. So, and then of course, if you remember this guy here, the big ass lineman looking dude from, man, they played so many damn movies, and it's too many. Adam Pac-Man Jones, and my boy Travis Kelce, of course. A lot of people.
Hill Harper.
Yeah, Hill Harper. That's his name. Yeah. And like I said, The Miz, and all these other cats here. This. Gosh. Oh, and this guy here, Pat McAfee. So I will say this about Pat. He's a nice guy. I thought because of he's got this whole black tank top thing. I always thought he didn't take a shower or whatever, but dude was clean. So, but
he didn't smell bad. Though.
Nah,
he didn't smell bad.
Nah, he didn't smell bad. He was. I mean, well, considering he was. His little contraption was next to Old Spice. It's like, bro, if you don't have any deodorant on, something's wrong with that. But my best time, Marcus, I think you know this. Some of our gladiator friends got to enjoy dinner with. So, Rachel and Damon. So yeah, we got a chance to enjoy each other's time and stuff out there. Oh, and got to give a shout out to Anthony Anderson as well. So we did our thing out there.
Yeah, Anthony's at Howard, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a Howard. And then of course, your boy did make the national radio debut on the Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Chris Broussard. So yeah.
Look at him. So check it out, folks. It looks like Delicious is no longer going by Delicious now.
No. It's always gonna be
he
that.
over here. He up in name dropping for real. He up in name dropping, Shan. I don't know what's going on with him. The boy done got big. Man. The boy done got big time.
How about now? Hold on. Now again, I've been doing this for a while now, so I got a lot more pictures and names and stuff. That's just from that week. I still got previous Super Bowls and stuff I've covered.
So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Hopefully my microphone is a little bit better. If not, I'll get it right. Like again, I'm still in the middle of a move, and I can't find like a $50 cord that makes my sound so amazing. It's somewhere in my bag, somewhere packed up, or either somebody took it or somebody thought it was a charger. You know how people like to steal your charger, and sometimes they ain't a charger. Yep. So but it is what it is. So we're gonna get into it. Listen, we talk about, and it's good that you're on the show because you are the sports guy and you are one of my sports guys. And we've argued about sports a plethora of times. But one thing that I'll say. Oh shoot!
No,
sorry,
Ben calling.
I know
Ben calling.
Right. That. You know what I mean? Hold on 1 second now. Stop calling me. Let me put my airplane mode on. I don't know what the hell is going on.
Yeah, my mom does that too. She like to come in the middle of my show, like, "Mama, I'm on the air."
Right in the middle of everything. It's all good. Look, Brittney Griner.
Yep.
Brittney, I'm gonna say like this right here. Brittney is. I said she was top 10, but I think Brittney Griner is definitely like one of my top 20 ballers, universal ballers across any basketball league or a sport. Right? You can add Cheryl Swoops to that list. You can add Jordan to that list. You can add Barkley to that list. You can add AI. A whole assortment. Dana Taurasi, right? There's people who I consider like just universal basketball players. And Brittney, a lot of people don't know about Brittney. Brittney Griner played for Baylor, right?
Played for Baylor, yeah.
Yeah, she played for Baylor, won a national championship in college, won a national championship in won a state championship in high school, national championship in college. WNBA championship with the Mercury, the Phoenix Mercury.
Yep.
And when it comes down to like high flyers, like Brittney Griner has been dunking on people for well over 10 years now, in whatever capacity that you want to do it. And for a women's basketball player, say what you want, like no one can cap. Like women don't dunk like men, and she pretty much throws one down almost every game, if not every game. From just her athletic prowess. She's super tall, but she's a baller. Brittney got into a little trouble with domestic violence issues, but unlike how they do other folks, I try to forgive everybody, and she kind of paid the punishment for it. But that's neither here nor there. She's also what folks don't know about Brittney. Brittney is a sister that plays because the WNBA doesn't get paid enough. Let's keep it 1,000%, right? They get paid half of, like, literally a quarter of what the NBA players get, right?
Oh, they get a fraction, bro. It's a fraction,
right? And like an NBA rookie, an NBA 10-day contract for somebody getting called up from the G League almost equates to a year's salary for a WNBA player, right? And Brittney is currently detained. Brittney's currently detained in Russia for carrying hash oil. And first let me back up. With the current ongoing situation that's happening in Eastern Europe with Russia and Ukraine. Russia has been feeling sanctions from the United States, and I think one of the main reasons that they even touched Brittney, because Brittney is a superstar in Russia. She's not just an average basketball player. People,
I think she plays overseas. I think she plays over there during the off season.
She's a superstar, and she gets paid more money over there than she does with the Phoenix Mercury, right?
Right.
So when we have a situation like that, we have to start thinking about, like, and going back in hindsight, thinking to ourselves, okay, exactly how did she get into a situation where she got detained, and why did that happen, right? So, I mean, like, from what you're hearing so far, what's your thoughts on this, on what happened with her?
Well, obviously, I don't cover the WNBA as much because we don't have those type of teams around. But obviously, the news of it is distressful because it seems like we're just finding out about it. Because I think she's been detained for a couple of weeks now, but we just found out about it, I think, last week. And so the sheer fact that it's coming out now lets you know that Russia is kind of utilizing it as a PR deal. Because again, if you're Vladimir Putin, why would you release her anytime soon? I mean, now I'm not saying she's to be held like a hostage or anything like that, but that's the way the mind of a psycho thinks like that, and we obviously hope for the best or whatever, and pray for her safe captivity. But the thing is, you don't know whether or not the charges and the courts are going to be against her, because if she's convicted, she could face up to a decade. I mean, and American law. I mean, it's in Rome, do as the Romans do. So I mean, so she has to abide by Russian law or Russian law, whatever whatever it may be, as it relates to carrying that type of stuff. Again, as I've said before, I don't do drugs. I don't endeavor that kind of stuff. So
Hash is not drugs.
No. I know, but I'm saying, but there. Look, first of all, I don't even know how they like dinged her for it, because is it a scent? Is it something where dogs can sniff your basket, or sniff your bags or something, and bark? I mean, I don't know, so I don't know enough about that part, because that's your industry right there. But but I like to know whether or not somebody set her up. I mean, that would be my initial question, because if she's been traveling back and forth, and I guess she's been playing over there for a number of years, I'm not exactly sure why all of a sudden this just happened. This happened at a time when it did.
Right. I mean, so Putin is not necessarily the most intersectional human being on the planet. So first, she's black, and she's LGBTQIA, and there in 2013, Russian law and Putin also went out of their way to stop gay propaganda, and they've gotten in a little bit of trouble as a country because of their harsh treatment of LGBTQ people. So I mean, you like to think that she's an American, that she's black, that she's gay.
It's three
And
strikes
if
right
you
there.
add those together, and then you add a war where the U.S. and its allies are putting sanctions on Russia to the places they are putting them on, she's pretty much a political prisoner, if not a prisoner of war. Whether it's a prisoner of Cold War or not, Wody out.
So look, I would turn the question around to you and ask this: knowing all that Russia is against, again, now I don't know if she plays in Russia or she just plays in a neighboring country, and got trapped over there. So that part I don't know. But if she plays in Russia, I guess my question would be, if you knew how those laws were, and if you knew how they are against things that you represent, why would you play over there?
Well, I mean, first, okay, check this out. Like they said,
It's rhetorical.
first,
I'm not throwing that out there at you. It is rhetorical.
First, she shouldn't have to play over there.
Agreed.
In general, right? But she's playing over there because you have to, as a professional woman athlete, basketball player, you have to kind of sort of do your tour to keep your funding coming in, because those women basketball players, they get paid like less than doctors in some places, right? Like less than, some of them get paid $100,000 a year. Some of them get paid $200,000 a year. I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Here's something interesting. The WNBA fined the New York Liberty last week. Fined them, I believe, a $500,000 or $1 million, as well as a draft pick, because they flew their players on charter flights.
Repeat that?
Yeah, exactly. The WNBA fined the New York Liberty $1 million because they flew their players on chartered flights.
So what are they supposed to suffer?
they want them to fly Southwest Delta like everybody else. And now, mind you, now the NBA they got their own charter flights, whatever, and the New York Liberty owners wanted to actually set up a deal where every team in the league would get 3 years free worth of chartered flights, whatever, and the league said no. I mean, so that's so. What you're talking about is things that they have to endure and that they have to suffer from. But yes, that just came out last week. That was
well, I mean, that's cap, right? And to be honest with you, I mean, it just shows us the gender disparities that are so heavy across society in general. And this is interesting that we're having this conversation during Women's History Month, and we didn't have an opportunity. But shout out to all the women that have influenced Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Shout out to all the women that have been on Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Shout out to all the women in general who watch Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap, who supports Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Yesterday was international women, was international or national women's Day, and I didn't get an opportunity to give my shout out. Shout out to Dr. Rosetta Bobo, Mom Dukes, the lady.
Shout out to my mama.
My
mama's making my dinner this weekend, so shout out to her.
Yeah, shout out to all the women in the WNBA. Shout out to all the women that I worked with in the past. Kim Brown. Who else has been on this show? There's been so many women on this show.
Nina Turner.
I'm gonna miss a lot of people. I should have a list. Nomiki. All the women who've been on this show. We appreciate you and dearly, and hope you guys hope you gals continue to grow and prosper and get the respect that you deserve across the board. But Brittney should free Brittney, right? Like free Brittney Griner. She's a political, and when folks say the dogs follow her, listen, you're a tall black gay woman in Russia. You stick out like a sore thumb. The KGB probably had their eyes on every single move that Brittney made in general. So
Marcus, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I stick out here at the Big 12 tournament. Like if I walk into this media room right here, I'm the only black person in there. So that lets you know it's a few other blacks sprinkled here, but they're watching the game right now. But if I walk in that thing, when I got here, I was the first black person here. If I walk in that press room right now, so that's in a lot of things. So and it's sad. I was going to make a tweet about it, but you had called me before I could press send. So I don't think I'm going to do that now. But the fact that the lack of diversity in a whole bunch of different types of employment or jobs or whatever is disheartening. Now here, literally, I'm at the Big 12 tournament. There's going to be more black players playing here than white players, and there's going to be 95% white media here, with maybe 5% of us being here, and that's a high number in the 5%.
You gotta wonder, and I wonder this all. I think about this all the time. Black people make up so much of the sporting industry, like the players, the people who actually make it happen, right?
Yeah.
And they have such a hard time of leaving that industry and still being a part of that space in general, whether it be media, whether it be coaching, whether it be front office work, right? Hell, whether it be even getting contracts as vendors for some of these stadiums and places like that. Pretty much the only role for black people, women and men, is, and I'll give the WNBA a shout out, like, they have a massive amount of black women as coaches, and they have a massive amount of people that are diverse that are doing that. But like, even the NBA has some of its issues on hiring African American people right now. And can I give you a hot take on this day after Women's Day? Dawn Staley should be an NBA coach.
Does she want to be? I guess, but the question: does she want to be?
You get paid more? Yes.
Well, no. I mean,
of course she wants to be. Somebody offer her a job? Like, are you serious?
No. I said it because some people feel like where they're at, they feel like they can have a greater impact because they get a chance to mold the minds of young men and women. So like Deion Sanders, like if the Dallas Cowboys would offer him the head coaching job, he says he couldn't do it because he'd be ready to fight the players because
Deion Sanders is already a Deion Sanders is worth hundreds of millions of dollars.
I get it, but Don Staley,
Now,
but Don Staley's not going broke
probably a
either.
millionaire, but like,
yeah, but what I'm saying is she's not going broke either. But what I'm saying again, if that's something that she want to do, yeah, I mean, I think IQ wise, yes, she's smart to do that, but but you also would have to ask her because, yeah, I mean, it may be a pipe dream for her, but I mean, she might want to coach WNBA, whether let alone NBA. So I mean, I don't know. I'm not speaking for her, but I'm just saying, is that something that she would even want to do to put herself up and out there like that?
Well, I find it interesting that men are allowed to be WNBA coaches, but women aren't allowed to be.
Trust me,
and
in college. Trust
okay, check this out. Here's my thing, because I want to say this as nuanced as possible without like getting canceled. I can understand the NBA having more women coaches than the NFL, and the reason why is because the amount of women that are interested in the strategic part of it and actually like try to apply, I don't think, and then plus most of them haven't played. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But basketball is a universal game, right? The X's and O's, you've been running picks as a woman or a man since you were 3 years old. You've been running pick and rolls since you were 3 years old as a basketball. And it seems like it would be more inherent, like for sports, like, because I mean, I haven't seen a women's football league. Well, actually, I have, and it's real.
No, there's been,
it's like with the bra and panties football league.
Trust me, of course. Come on,
that's
man.
Just cap. I mean, I like watching it, but it is cap. Hey, but I did see. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I was watching that league, and this one sister like decked this girl. I wish I had it. Like I was like, oh, that y'all do not have enough pads on to be playing football like that. Come on,
man. Look, let me say this, because this is a political show, but I got to keep it real with the audience. I love ratchet TV shows. I love ratchet reality. So I watched Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop, that type of stuff. I can't think of the girl's name, but she was on Basketball Wives last couple of seasons or whatever, and she played women's football or whatever. And so they would show highlights of her where she would be knocking players, knocking their block off. I can't think of her name. For me, she's not pretty. She's not attractive to my eyes, but she was a hell of a football player. So
yeah.
But be that as it may, yes, I've watched women leagues. Football.
Yeah, I mean, like here's the thing. I just think that the NBA is ready for that, right? But I mean, we're still so far down the road when it comes down to equity and equality in professional sports. And I think that this Brittney Griner situation in Russia is the epitome of what happens when you don't have equity. She has no business over there, and I don't mean like she has no business over there. She has no business over there for the reason that she's probably over there, and that's to pay the bills and make money, right? I think that once you do something like hit a WNBA league, you should want or need for nothing when it comes down to pay, right?
I will say this, and because generally in our community, we expect players like LeBron, and shockingly, he hasn't spoken up about it, but I'm not going to put that on him. I think Adam Silver and others in that profession at that level, I'm talking about above LeBron James, need to be speaking up, need to be speaking out, need to be doing whatever they can to, whether it's back channels or what have you, get that girl out of her situation. And the fact that there's not more hell being raised about that is a problem in the bigger scheme of things that does not sit well with my spirit.
Well, I mean, I also say this right here. If it was one of those little white girl Olympic darlings, this conversation would be so much more. This conversation would be 24/7.
Let it be Diana Taurasi.
Listen, it'll be like wasn't it the Iliad? What happened? Which one was it where the woman launched the war, right? Like it would be something like that. It would be definitely a situation where there'd be 24-hour news coverage. There'd be celebrities holding signs that says free so and so, right? In comparison to the work, like what's happening with this sister, and it's a perfect analogy about how the world does not give a fuck about black women. The world doesn't give a damn about black men. The world does not give a damn about, specifically LGBTQIA black folks, right? This should be centered. This should be in the media on a consistent basis. If the Warhawks, if they were smart, not racist, they'd be using this as a reason to bomb Russia if they wanted to. But they're like, nah, we ain't gonna bomb Russia over this nigga. So yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So if it was a different situation, we have a different results. But that's neither here nor there, man. Look, you are watching Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap with Darren Smith right now. Marcus Farrell. I am Marcus Farrell, Marcus for America on Instagram and Twitter. Marcus Farrell on Facebook. Please like, subscribe, share, send us a cash app. Help us. Mondale is a little under the weather right now, so we're gonna send his prayers right now. And then also you can follow Mondale at I am Mondale, and I believe that is on Twitter and on Instagram. Darren, how did they get in contact with you, my brother?
Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Darren Smith WHP.
That's right. And anything we'll do. We had a conversation with Dwayne. Dwayne was about to get back on running this right here, but Dwayne, I think it was either Dwayne or Tunde that said, "Oh, y'all know new intro is cap."
Oh, hey, the intro is fire, and I do want to give a shout out because I don't think we really do, but Chuck Diesel, I know he's making sure people hit the like and share button. Want to send him a shout out, thank him because he doesn't have to do that, so we do appreciate it. And like you said, boost the algorithm of the show. So I appreciate what he's doing for the show in the background. So your work didn't go unnoticed, brother.
Yeah, it doesn't go unnoticed. Show Kings, I see what you're saying. Show King says was in a big conversation on TYT chat talking about Ukraine and his anti-black racism and how it was a war crime. Had so many white progressives come at me with all the smoke. Well, white progressives, well, check this out first.
Oh man.
First, you are fighting a long, hard battle if you're going to continue to try to fight with white people over what they think is racism, because they don't understand that when they're racist, they don't get to dictate what is racist and what is not. You white progressives are coming from a place of power, right? And luxury, right? So black progressives and white progressives. Now, white progressives watching this show, I think y'all have heard me say this a million times, but I have to just go back up and talk about white progressives. First off, white progressives mean more well than everybody else in the political spectrum. So let me just start right there. But the problem is they have a patriarchal thought process when it comes down to black people. You should be talking about it like this. You should be speaking like that. And more importantly, they talk about politics. This is not expanding the clickbaity political thirst trap reach within white progressives, but I don't give a fuck. White progressives talk about politics from a place of privilege.
Yep.
Black progressives talk about politics from a place of necessity. Okay? Now, just follow me. Free college, let's go on the platform, the white progressive platform, free college, Medicare for all, right? Because there's a lot of people who can't afford healthcare, or healthcare becomes a little bit too expensive. Black people, when they talk about Medicare for all, is because they've never had healthcare. They don't have expensive healthcare because they don't have healthcare. So affordable healthcare is like, you mean healthcare? Right. You mean healthcare? Like, because healthcare to black people is, all right, how many bills am I going to get for going to this ER? How much is this?
How much is my copay to go to to get some medicine? Or if I do end up in a hospital, how much do I have to pay out of pocket before it kicks in?
Right. So I'll say this right here, and it's unfortunate. I'm gonna say this. Sometimes I question who is the black progressives' closest ally when it comes down to a group. Is it white progressives? Is it neoliberals? Black neoliberals? Follow what I'm saying now, because there's a legit argument when it comes down to black neoliberalism and its hatred / attachment to black progressives. Because I can make an argument that there are way more black neoliberals that are willing to call out police violence. They ain't gonna do a damn thing about it, but they're willing to call out police violence because the person happens to look like them. Oh yeah, very much so. Indigenous people, and also like don't let me forget my Latinx brothers and sisters, and also don't let me forget about like. So here's the thing, right? Like, I believe white progressives, not all of them, but I believe white progressives sort of leave it up to what they hear pundits saying instead of what is just historically right. So when I say give me reparations before you give me Medicare for all, a lot of white folks are going to be like, well, that's selfish.
Shit, I
But
want
my thing is, you know what was selfish? Slavery. You know what was selfish? Redlining. You know what was selfish? Building the interstate system directly through our neighborhoods, right? Like,
oh, I know it all too well in Kansas City.
Listen,
I know that shit all too well.
In some of these cities, it's like they said, okay, check this out. I know the black neighborhood is 5 miles that way, but don't you think we could just stretch it through that area so we can get the high? Like, we got to block.
Oh, that shit's funny because it's so true.
It is true.
It's true.
I try to not make up cap shit when I'm doing this show. We're gonna get into the next article, man. My iPhone what is this? Yeah, my Mac just told me I'm slipping on my pimping real quick.
Yeah, you gotta plug it in, Marcus. You gotta plug it in.
I know. So unprepared. I was so excited about the new music. I
know one
so
thing,
excited.
man. I'm seeing Luke Kane just said Biden only planned on sending $2.5 billion to split up between 107 HBCUs. Man, there's some. I don't man. I had an argument with my brother Saturday. We were heading to our uncle's funeral, and we were talking about. I said, man, if I had to vote for Biden today, I don't know if I could pull that lever, man. I'm so just right now with him, man. It's and a lot of it goes back to when he was coming in office, and then when he got in office, and what he did and didn't do, what he didn't extend, or what he didn't go after first, and then he allowed Joe Manchin to just take a man. I'm just like ready to just throw my hands up with this guy. So I don't know.
Listen, man. Listen,
you got to talk. We're about to get into that, but I want me off a ledge.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that, but I want to talk about something real quick that is on what our dear sister Ann Hart just said. Ann Hart said, "You should see the looks I get when I tell local politicians that for me to support them, they have to support reparations. I want everybody to do this one time, and it's gonna bother you. It's gonna bother you when you do it. But I have a suggestion. Once you give a progressive candidate $100, $100 donation, they will share all of your information to other candidates. And I guarantee you, when it comes down to calling for support, they always call people who give 100 and above, right? They do. So recently, last year I gave away a whole bunch of money to a whole bunch of candidates. And this year, I've been receiving all types of phone calls consistently, basically begging me or asking me for money. And y'all already know how that go, Trap Squad. Y'all already know it. Y'all already know how that conversation gonna go down. Y'all already know it. But here's the thing: I also have donated to some basic Democratic candidates who didn't have progressive opponents, too. Right? They were just running against a Republican or running against another Democrat that I had personal beef with. Right? And if some Republicans call me, I can't even lie to you, and they said the right thing, I give money to them too, if they saying the right thing. But the question I always ask these candidates is reparations. Hey, man, do you support reparations? If you get into Congress, will you promise me that you will be a co-sponsor of H.R. 40 or either propose new reparations language that actually addresses the ills that were begotten upon Black people during slavery and redlining and Jim Crow? And some of them have an answer. But there's always about 25% of them that have a cap-ass answer.
Well, we just need to take more studies and more. What the fuck do you think HR 40 is for? It's a study.
Fuck, I've been studying all these years.
But it's a trip because white progressive candidates, their model is Bernie. Not even realizing that Bernie has turned into a whole different cat himself at this point. Would you agree, Darren? But their model is Bernie, and Bernie had a wait and see thought process until black people started burning him across the board when it came down to reparations. Don't have the platform that you used to have without reparations being on the platform as it is right now. So I'll say this right here. I want y'all all to donate. And when it comes down to local politicians, if they ask for your support, if you really believe in reparations, you got to train these guys early, because when they run for city council, they're going to want to run for mayor. When they run for mayor, they're going to want to run for state representative. Run for state representative, they're going to want to run for. They're just going to keep wanting to run for these seats that literally have like, I guess, step ups is the best way for me to say it. They literally have that.
I got a text. I got a text from Move On just Monday, as a matter of fact, asking me, to run for office here locally in Kansas City. It's like the sign up, the deadline is March 29th for August election, and I was like,
Why not?
What particular seat? No, one. I already told you I got kicked out of the black political group here back in 2016 because they thought I was working for Bernie Sanders when Congressman Cleaver, our political group was voting to endorse either Cleaver or Hillary Clinton. It was 14-1 Clinton. I was the only one that voted for Bernie. Now, I did that out of my loyal support to you, but they thought I was on the track. And I'm sitting thinking like, bro, seriously, I said, like, no, I just felt he was a better candidate than she was. They kicked me out the group. So I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to just stick with my sports. Fuck y'all. So that's what I did. And so they've been trying to get me to come back ever since. But I'm like, nah, because y'all don't want the honest truth. Like, I can't, my soul won't allow me to sell out. Like, literally, there will be people on our executive board that had a financial interest on what was on the ballot. And they were more concerned about whether or not they would not get contracts versus whether or not it was good for the people that we were trying to, service. Man, now somehow my voice won out and we shot that shit down and she didn't get the contracts, whatever. But I'm saying, but that's the type of stuff that I had to deal with. And like I said, for me, it reeks with my soul. And I don't know what it is, maybe just my upbringing, my pastor, whatever, and I get stuff from him. But it does for me, when I entered at the White House and I saw homeless people sleeping outside the street, that stuff had an adverse effect on how I thought. And for me, you talked about, look, I want free education for our people. I want reparations. I want Medicare I want all that, I want all that stuff that's coming to us that we should not even have to be fighting or begging for. We shouldn't. I mean, that,
Well, okay.
Let me step down because I ain't trying to come up with no platform.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm happy to hear what you're talking about, right? Because here's the thing. Right now, and I'm gonna go into what Queen P is saying right there. But right now, if you even just help people, you're progressive. Right now, if you just help people in real time, that's progressive. Because all politicians want to do is help themselves and help a corporation. If I told you about this one politician in Georgia, I forgot his name. You better be happy I forgot his name. But this guy was talking to me every day. And now he's pushing the bill. He's pushing the bill that will only hurt the other black companies that were going for a contract. And and then he decided he's not going to run for a re-election. Now guess what? He works for one of the companies that he's trying to help out and dissing everybody else. So like that's the way that these guys work. Queen P asked, how do we get the neoliberal black folks to support reparations? Plenty of black folks are saying we don't need reparations or we don't need checks. I want that check. Listen. Let me Queen P.
I want all my money.
Queen P. You ain't wrong for wanting their checks. Check the bank accounts and the land ownership, the tax records of the black people who are saying we don't need reparations. Check what their next move is going to be. The highest ranking Negro in America who disses reparations every single time it comes up is Jim Clyburn. Who else does Jim Clyburn work for? He works for Nancy Pelosi. No, he doesn't work for himself. He works for Nancy Pelosi. Now, his position is supposed to be independent as the House whip, but he does whatever Nancy Pelosi says to do. Right? So when these neoliberal black folks, okay, let me back up. I had a conversation with a very well-known congressman last week about reparations, and he's a close friend of mine. And I said to him, because he hadn't signed on the HR 40. Yeah, right. And I'm like, how you my friend and you ain't signed on the HR 40? He said, man, I was waiting for you to ask me this question for a long time, bro. I'm ready for you. I'm like, motherfuckers, really? Right now. Underneath the pillow at the White House, underneath the big blanket, and in Congress, watching the show, talking about, don't say my name. He told me the reason why, as a congressperson, that he hadn't signed on to HR 40 is because a couple of things, and we'll go to the answer. The first thing was, he said, there's no public pressure. I was like, there is public pressure. But in actuality, there's not public pressure. What I mean by public pressure is political public pressure. Where are the commercials?
There's no consequences.
Where are the lobbyists? Where are the media buys? Right? Where is the talking head that has a team that's pushing them? No. Where reparations fall short is anywhere off of Twitter and YouTube, right? We don't have a reparations pack. We don't have, which by the way is something that we're talking about right now. We don't have a reparations pack. We don't have a pressure. So what my response to him was, it doesn't matter if we have public pressure, but isn't it the right thing to do? He said, hell, there's a lot of right things to do, but is my constituency going to vote me back in when they haven't seen any pressure in my own district to support reparations? The black folks in my own district haven't supported reparations. So when you trying to get me to support HR 40 and reparations, you're trying to get me to do something that I was not sent here to do. And I had to say,
well, but see, here's the thing. You weren't sent there to send aid to Ukraine, right? But you're doing that anyway.
Come on now.
Hold on. Fuck what look, I mean, because you talk about inflation, all this other shit, what I'm saying? Like, you got money to just give to the Pentagon, but you don't have money to extend unemployment. I mean, look, yeah, but you don't have money, saying to pass this, or you claim you don't have the votes to pass this Biden bill about it. Look, there's a lot, man. Don't get me started.
Well, and here's the next reason, which is even more important. HR 40 gets slapped around in committee a lot. HR 40 gets slapped around in committee a lot. And he said that the Black Caucus, he said, how do you expect me to do something when the Black Caucus won't do it? And that's real. But it's also a conversation that we haven't had about, like, I haven't seen a reparations commercial. I haven't seen a movie that said we need to get reparations. It hasn't been the
networks ain't gonna put that shit on. The networks ain't even gonna, man.
But here's what I'm saying.
They're not putting that shit
on.
Hey,
listen, money don't lie. Money does not lie. Money lets you do whatever you want to because folks are greedy. You think they won't run a reparations commercial during the Super Bowl if we came up with like $20 million to play that 30-second ad? Yes, it'll be right there. They're gonna take all that money and keep it moving. But the thing is that we haven't organized outside of ourselves yet, outside of Twitter. And hell, we can't even get it right when it comes down to who, what, when, where, and why reparations should even be talked about. I find it very interesting that there's so many arguments. Man, what's behind you? You got some
No. Dude, first of all, I'm at the T-Mobile Center, so there is a game going on right now. It's halftime, West Virginia leading 38-34. I mean, I am actually at work, but I'm leaving work because I'm talking to my family. So let's not forget that I am at work on the clock. Yeah.
So
but it's all good.
So what needs to happen, guys, is that there needs to be an entity that actually starts talking about reparations, and that might just be the next thing that I do politically, if I do anything politically besides the show again. Something to think about, something to move on. We do have a couple of other news stories that we wanted to get into, and this started. This is a perfect segue. The Senate, U.S. Senate passed this is per CNN. The U.S. Senate passed the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act of 2022 on Monday night by unanimous consent. The bill, which would make lynching a federal hate crime, now heads to President Joe Biden's desk for his signature. The legislation was approved by the House of Representatives last week by a vote of 422 to 3. Hey, Trap Squad, could we find the 3 people? Trap Squad, I need your help.
No,
in real time.
I had
find
that.
3 people that voted against the anti-lynching bill? Could somebody do some research for me real quick to find out? And also, could somebody find out if the vice president has supported reparations or HR 40 in the past as a senator or going forward? But yes, so after more than 200 failed attempts to outlaw lynching, and we can call that the white man's frustration, Congress has finally succeeded in taking a long overdue action by passing the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act. Hallelujah, it's overdue, said Majority Leader Chuck Schumer in his remarks on the Senate floor of the bill's passage. That it took so long to pass is a bitter stain on America, the New Yorker added. You know, reparations could the same thing could be said for reparations. And it's the ironic part about this conversation is if you admit that lynching happened, then you're basically giving another case for rep. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna keep doing this. So let's see. Oh, Anna Hart, thank you, love. Appreciate it. Anna Hart, Luke Kang, and Show King.
Because I knew it's 3 Republicans. I was trying to find it because I thought it was on the page.
Of course, a Georgian. A Thomas Massey, a guy from Georgia, a guy from Kentucky, and a guy from Texas.
Even Ted Cruz and the senator, Ralph, whatever the damn doctor's name is from Kentucky. Even they didn't, they of course it passed by unanimous consent, but even they wasn't stupid enough to block that. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, so we're kind of getting into like, okay, what's easy and what's fast to do. Check this out. They were lynching last year. Ahmaud Arbery was lynched.
Yep.
Right? It could have been the Ahmaud Arbery Anti-Lynching Act, right? He was lynched. It just happened to have a camera to prove that he didn't attack them white people, right? But they were lynching in the 50s. If you guys ever go down to Montgomery and go to I always call it the EJI, but I always call it the lynching museum. You should go down to Montgomery. Brother, what is it, Brad? Brother Stevenson. Brother Stevenson is the one who created that right there. You guys, George Floyd was lynched, right?
Man, they was lynching before people knew what the hell lynching was. I mean, they was lynching when we came over from off of slave ships. They were lynching.
Right, that's
called another name.
King's a great point, real quick. Actually, that is. Hold on, that's an awesome comment. Hold on, where did he say? Where is it? Where is it? Someone said, "I wonder if they are." It's all because they have badges, and I wonder if they put any policing conversations within this conversation itself right now. But that's neither here nor there. What I wanted to get to in this point is it takes us so long to do anything righteous that this is not a necessary bill to pass right now, right? Like, first, let me say like this right here: a white mob can't form anywhere and come and get black people no more. You have to have a badge to do that. That type of, I don't care. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They might be able to, but the day and age of you seen Becky, you seen Tyrone and Becky holding hands, and now we're going to kill you. It's kind of dead. Instead, they say they see you, Tyrone and Becky holding hands, and then they call his boss and they say, hey, you got to get rid of this guy, or we won't give you a tax incentive. Lynching is not lynching the same way it used to be anymore. the white folks that lynched back in the day, they would be cowards to come to SWATs right now. We got guns. We'll shoot you back. You're not gonna hang nobody, right? The only reason they won't come to Ahmaud's neighborhood and do that to him. They won't chase him all the way to his neighborhood and hunt him down and do that, right?
Yeah, Trayvon Martin. I mean, he's not gonna follow Trayvon into his neighborhood,
right? So Robert Fuller. Well, I'm pretty sure there's exceptions, but like in general, to the level that they were doing up until 1955, right? That lynching is not the same. So it's really extremely easy to pass an anti-lynching law today. And I'm happy for the Biden administration. They finally got something passed, but is this it?
Hold on. Biden had shit to do with it. That was Bobby Rush. Biden had shit to do. All he's doing is signing. He had shit to do.
Trying to get Biden some.
Nah, fuck that, man. I'm not giving that dude credit because, like somebody pointed out earlier, we ain't got the George Floyd Act. There's a lot of shit that he's supposed to be. We ain't got the vote.
We can't get.
It's halftime.
We can't get a police reform act passed.
My point exactly.
I mean, police reform? Just reforming the motherfuckers?
They already want you said defund the police, man. So it's like, man, whatever. I mean,
well, we went through that last episode. The funny part about the comments around, because we got some comments around defunding the police and this, that, and the other. Can't you wait till neoliberals just die? And I'm not wishing death on anybody, but can't you wait till their old age group just gets out of the picture in general?
See, but here's a problem. The problem is that they have aid that work with them that take on that same mindset, i.e. Robert Byrd, Joe Manchin. That's the type of stuff that you have that comes and that follows you because people don't want to take stands. They don't want to pick a side. I mean, there's a lot of things going on that, that people, again, they don't have the courage of their convictions to where, what do the polls say? Well, what does my constituents say? No, what do you fucking believe in? See, that's why I can't run for office because, they'll put me out as soon as I get in.
And you know what? Where is it at? RJ, very good statement, RJ. Capitalism will need to die first.
Woo.
So
they're gonna predict
I
that
am a firm believer that toxic capitalism, I'm not gonna say all capitalism, but toxic capitalism, which is most capitalism right now, and you can't support capitalism as it stands right now and then be a fan of the Black community. Yeah. You can't. It's impossible. And even when capitalism works for us, it doesn't work for us. If you look at the times in history where capitalism worked, they burned our city down. They burned our cities down. We can name Rosewood, Tulsa, and we can go down the list of all the cities that they literally burned down because Black capitalism within his own community was working very well. And that's just sad and a shame in general, right? But we did pass the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act, and it's going to pass, and Joe Biden's going to push it around. And
they definitely gonna run on that shit in 2024. Trust, believe that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're gonna make it seem like Black people are all
that. That Emmett Till Act is gonna morph into the police into the George Floyd Act. Watch. That's what.
It's gonna be their George Floyd Act.
At that time. Okay.
Well, at least the white people can't hang you up anymore. The ones with badges on can.
Right. They can still hold on. Lynching by any other name still kills you.
That's right. It's 7:56. We got one more thing. I did want to end this on. Actually, Darren, how long do you have with us? Because Mondale likes to
have I have as long as my battery. I got 38% left, so 36%.
Oh, then we're gonna rock for a couple more minutes, then we'll leave.
Hey, man, come on, man.
So today. Thank you, my brother Dwayne, for pointing this out to me. Today is the 25th anniversary of Biggie Smalls' death. He's shooting in LA after the BET Awards? He was killed after attending the BET Awards, and in Los Angeles, people believe that Suge Knight and the same folks who were involved in the death of Tupac also were involved in the death of Notorious B.I.G. First, I will say like this right here: Biggie is still one of the greatest rappers of all time. Biggie is probably the major influencer of most influential rapper. I think him and Tupac. And I think Biggie has him edged out when it comes down to just how folks were trying to rap for a little while. A lot of people weren't really. Hold
I'm
on.
side with Tupac on that one.
Wait, I ain't finished yet because we don't have to turn this into a Biggie Tupac thing.
No, we're not. I like them both. I got both. I got both the double cities in college.
I will say that both of them probably had the most influence on current hip hop. Right, young cats don't even realize that some of their styles and some of the words that they're saying is a direct sort of reflection. Even though it sounds different, it's a direct reflection of Biggie and Tupac. Let me tell you something. When Biggie, the way that rappers talk right now and the words they use, specifically the cuss words and how they talk about sex, Biggie normalized that. He did, and a lot Biggie and Luke. Uncle Luke.
Hey, you got to give Uncle Luke credit.
Yeah, Uncle Luke normalized the naughty word, but the shame
Uncle
about
Luke
this is
normalized the music videos. Come on now, that's
right. The issue that I have with Biggie's death being 25 years ago is they still have not officially found the killers of Biggie and Tupac. They say they know, and everyone says that they know who shot Biggie and who shot Tupac and who shot Biggie, but unfortunately, the children at this point still don't know how their fathers were killed and who was responsible for it, and justice has never came. And if justice did come, we never know how that justice had came about. Thank you for the super chat, Killer Cuts. We really appreciate it. That's really cool of you. What are your thoughts, man? 25 years since Biggie Smalls died.
One, the fact that we have to even come to say, oh, it's been 25 years is something within itself, because I think it's going to be 25 years for, maybe 25 years last year was for Tupac, because I know he had passed away, I think, when I was in college or going to college. But I mean, it's sad. I mean, you hate to see black men being taken off like that. I've always wondered if they could have survived and not gone to the extremes in which they did, how influential they would be in this political era right now. Like, literally, what would a Tupac Shakur say during the 8 years in the Obama administration? If Obama governed the way he did, how would Biggie and how would Tupac have addressed it? How would they address during the Trump situation? So that type of stuff is stuff that we'll never know, obviously, because they're not here any longer. But knowing the stuff that they talked about even back then and how it's still relevant today, it lets you know they had something special inside of them, man. I don't want to say that they were led, they were led by God or anything like that, because they were taken away. But kind of like Dr. King, they were gone. They were gone too soon. Just in the area of entertainment and the area in the avenue where they were, their time was cut short.
Yeah. What was your favorite Biggie Smalls song?
Oh gosh, More Money, More Problems.
Yeah, you like that commercialized bullshit.
I mean, there's other stuff, but I'm not gonna say it on the air.
Nah, I'm capping. That's a great song. My favorite song was Who Shot You? Separate the weak from the obsolete. Hard to creep in Brooklyn streets. It's on, nigga. Fuck all that bickering.
See, hold on. But see, you asked me, but you didn't ask me about. Okay, that's cool. So, what was your favorite Tupac song?
Oh
yeah. See,
Come With Me. No. So Many Tears. Just So Many Tears.
See, I had two songs, man. Because something about California Love, and when you just walk or you fly into LA or something, that California Love just hits.
Yeah, that's a very fair point. But also, you're spoiled. You're a Super Bowl ass nigga. So like when you're flying to the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure you do feel like California Love.
Hey, but the best Tupac song I always loved was this.
Hey, turn that off. YouTube, turn that off. YouTube won't let us show this thing.
Okay.
Cut it out.
Look, I love Hit 'Em Up, man. That was my. Hey, I love Hit 'Em Up. For some reason, like when I get angry or when I'm hitting the weights, I gotta have that.
We have 85 people watching us right now on Facebook, YouTube, and across the interwebs, and we only have 10 likes. Would you guys stop real quick and like whatever platform that you are right now, just stop and just like the stream, right? You know what I mean? If you're still here, ain't no reason for you to just be here and not like the stream. We're doing this free. You know what I'm talking about? You can't come with it. And Killer Cuts, thank you for the $5. And I just want to say, you got the most off the chain profile picture on the planet. This Negro got Princess Peach on the wrecking ball doing the Miley Cyrus on top of the bad guy from Mario Brothers. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I don't know where you got that from. So one last conversation since I got my sports ball guy on. Only 2 people like, man, listen, if y'all don't hurry up and like this thing and share this thing with your friends, y'all tripping, man. Share it. Oh, we got 99 likes. All right, I'm straight. Shall I be remiss? I am remiss. I do apologize. I appreciate y'all. Listen, so Florida A&M has a okay, we don't do that. Florida A&M has a junior that is headed to the NFL. He did amazing in the NFL Combine. His name is Marquise Bell, and he was said to be the biggest standout safety in the Combine this previous weekend. Yet and still, they have him projected as a 6th, 7th round, 5th round pick. Now, my question to you, Darren, is this right here. What's with the HBCU bias when it comes down to, and I understand the competition conversation, right? They even said the young man who signed with Jackson State over Florida State is now going to be a bust. He's going to be a bust because he went to Jackson State over Florida State, yet he's playing for coach, the best NFL cornerback of all time, and his position is cornerback. But now he's going to be a bust. Why are all these white pundits in sports ball world so dedicated to making anything black, HBCU driven or quarterback driven? From your opinion, why are they so obsessed with lessening us because you went to an HBCU or because you did something black in college?
Well, first of all, you answered your own question when you described who you're talking about. That's first and foremost. One, they don't have any buy-in, they don't have any ties to an HBCU, so why would they care? It doesn't for them. It doesn't put money in their pocket. It doesn't create clicks. I mean, unless you're degrading them, yeah, it doesn't create clicks. It does not create clicks. You are trying to enamor yourself with the Power 5 because that's where your subscribers, that's where your money is coming from. So of course, if all the student athletes are going to HBCUs, that's hurting the conferences, which in turn hurts your pocketbook.
Right.
So it's all man. At the end of the day, as somebody talked about earlier, man, until you kill capitalism, that's what it boils down to, money, man. But I can tell you this much. He's not going to go 6th or 7th round, because if he stood out like that and he has game film that shows he was a baller, I can assure you somebody's going to pick him up in the mid rounds, let alone the 6th or 7th round. Now, if a team thinks that they can wait that long to get him, and he stays down there, okay, so be it. But if he's able to stand out like he did, if he's able to stand out like he did at the Combine, I don't see him going past the 4th round. But that's
right. Right. Well, so far his highest projections have been to.
But you also got to remember, the job of those analysts is to push everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're paying money. If they can find a fault, they will do, because the lower.
That's not true.
No.
That is not true.
Marcus, listen, Mark. They feel
if you're a white quarterback coming out of Clemson, they ain't gonna take nothing to down you, dude. What are you talking about?
Okay.
You capping like a motherfucker right now. Are you serious? Did you just say that it's their job to tear everybody down?
Oh yeah. Well, hold on.
Everybody black down, maybe. What are you talking about?
Hold on. You know they found fault with the Michael Jordan too, right? I mean, because he wasn't the center. But what I'm saying is their job is to always find the negatives to push them down, because what they fail to realize is that the draft positions are slotted now, so the money is already slotted in those positions. So it's just a matter of where how far down can you peg them to go, so a particular team can draft them lower versus in higher, so they don't have to pay them as much. That's all.
That's right. Well, I mean, I guess that is their job, but the problem is that
Oh
they
shit!
want
You
them.
said cut me off. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Oh yeah, my bad. Look at me being rude. No, I think that is their job, but there is a conversation to be had about how they elevate in other places, and that kind of goes to the last topic that we're going to talk about tonight. And I talked about this briefly with you, but I mean with Mondale, but I wanted to talk to you about it specifically because this is your professional area that you literally cover on a day-to-day basis, and that is the NFL coaching situation. Look, the amount of racism that goes into it. And I always bring this back up because the football league, the NFL, the National Football League is acting as if America and as America is. And I don't want you to get in too much trouble because I know them owners. I know you've been meeting owners of teams recently and
Oh
stuff
man,
like
I
that.
don't care, dude. Come on, man.
Yes.
I speak my mind. They already know what it is with me.
Yeah. So what's your thought on Brian Flores? I'll let you have the last word with this one right here, and then we'll take it out.
Well, here's the thing. I think he's a man of integrity. I think he's a good man. I don't think he is willing to risk his coaching career off of baseless innuendos. I think they all say where there's smoke, there's fire. If you stop and think about it, Colin Kaepernick, they tried to make sure he wasn't going to be blackballed, but the league settled out with him, so he got money. So there was fire there where there's smoke is. There is smoke. There's fire to where the smoke is with Brian Flores. I truly believe that the owner of the Dolphins offered him money to lose games. There has been reports that there are other witnesses to that. All that is going to come to light. What he did today, he filed. I think he filed some today in court to keep it from going into arbitration. If it goes into arbitration, then what's discussed in there becomes a secret matter. He wants everything in open court so everybody can see the systematic racism that's going on in the NFL. Now,
the NFL does not want discovery whatsoever.
Oh,
They do not want that to happen.
Yeah, and so look, me, look, man, I last year, not this past season, but the season before, my credentials were being threatened because of how much Black Lives Matter and all this other stuff that I was bringing up to. Well, first of all, the players, Patrick Mahomes and Tyrann Matthew, they're in the video. They're out here talking about Black Lives Matter, and they're out here talking about voting and stuff. So don't get mad when me, as a black man who used to be a former congressional campaign manager, presses these players on political stuff when they're out there at the forefront of but they were, talking about coaches and players were scared of them. What you scared of? Like, what? I mean, this is what you. If you're out there talking about it, then be willing to answer questions. So I say all that to say that going back to Flores, I believe that Stephen Ross did what Brian Flores is accusing him of doing. I think he's going to be able to show, with the owners in the interview process on how it's racist and how and the difference between what's going on with the hiring practices from him for him versus other coaches, especially white coaches. And I think when it's discovered that Stephen Ross made those offers, I want to see what Roger Goodell does, because you know how they gave Calvin Ridley a year for gambling. Mind you, now they gave some of these other players with domestic violence and stuff 6 games, 4 games, but they gave him a year for gambling. I want to see whether or not they take the ownership away of Stephen Ross and the Miami Dolphins. That's what I want to see. But overall, I believe he has a case because there's a reason why they wanted to go into discovery so it don't come out to light.
Yeah, agreed. Hey, y'all. Darren, thank you for coming over here.
Anytime, brother.
Because
I only got like 15 minutes left to go in the game.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go out there, get some popcorn, and be on the front row, wherever the hell you sitting now, because you know you got some.
I'm actually sitting right behind the announcer, so you might see me on television on ESPN.
Hey, well, go check out ESPN, and let's watch Darren. Darren, you got any clickbaity stuff you can put on real quick?
Had you sent it to me, I probably would have.
You're right. And all that's coming. As you can tell, a couple of things are changing up. But yes, thank you one and all for watching another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. You have been with Darren Smith. I am Marcus Farrell. I'm one half of the host. Mondale Robinson, other host. We are happy to be with you. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe to this channel. Like it now. You got a couple minutes. We about to play this cool new little extra thing. You got one more thing to say, my brother?
Yeah, one more thing. Look, man, you know, I've always told you, and finally you put it to the point. Whatever you need me, I'm always here for you, bro. So just send me a call, text.
Yeah,
need me to
I know.
step in for my deal, whatever. I'm here for you.
He showed up. Hey guys, thanks for watching another episode of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. We will see you soon next week.
Marcus and Mondale, keeping it real, like you know they never holding back from telling the facts about this white supremacist system. Hurting brothers and sisters, working towards our freedom. We need them and they need us. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, nothing like average podcast. Speaking truth to power, put them on blast. Cause it's been too long, let's be honest. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, no for sure, they never gonna be back. Marcus and Mondale with the knowledge, their dedication is so rock solid. So rock solid, solid. Dropping all that knowledge, rock solid, solid. Marcus and Mondale, keeping it real, yeah, you know they never hold back from telling the facts about this white supremacist system. Hurting brothers and sisters, working towards our freedom. We need them and they need us. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, feeling like average podcast. Speaking truth to power, put them on blast. Cause it's been too long, let's be honest. Clickbaity, political thirst trap, no for sure, they never gonna be back. Throw scrolls up if you with it, y'all. It's a Thirst Trap video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you're liking this vibe. Yeah, Clickbaity, what? Clickbaity, word.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, thirst trap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad.